Hi, welcome to CloudEagle's Insights in Minutes. When you look at how businesses managed software just a decade ago, it's kind of wild to think about the change. Back then, you could track your entire software stack in a single spreadsheet, and now some companies are dealing with hundreds of SaaS subscriptions.
Seriously, the growth is staggering. Most enterprises are juggling over 500 SaaS apps these days. That's not just mind-boggling from a tech perspective, it's a total nightmare for anyone trying to keep tabs on spending, usage, and honestly, just not losing track of what's out there.
Exactly, and the risks aren't just about wasted dollars anymore. There's overlapping tools, forgotten licenses, auto renewals flying under the radar, and the ever present threat of shadow IT. If you don't have some kind of strategy for this chaos, you're leaving money and data security on the table.
And that's where SaaS management comes in, right? It's not just another layer of bureaucracy, it's a lifeline for growing companies that want to keep control over their tech and their budget. Let's break down what SaaS management actually involves.
So, at its heart, SaaS management is really about visibility and control. It means monitoring every cloud based app your company uses, tracking usage, costs, who has access, and whether or not the tool is still adding value.
Yeah. And it goes beyond just knowing what you have. Good SaaS management helps you spot, duplicate, or abandon apps. Think of the marketing team that switches email platforms but never cancels the old subscription. That kind of thing adds up fast.
I've definitely seen that scenario play out. Plus, with so many departments making their own software decisions, it's easy to lose the big picture. Without a central system, you're flying blind on everything from licensing to security.
Which is why a solid SaaS management platform, sometimes called an SMP, can be a game changer. It centralizes all your app data, automates workflows like onboarding and renewals, and gives different teams a unified way to keep things streamlined and secure.
It's wild how quickly things can spiral if you don't have a handle on your SaaS stack. Take visibility, you might only discover half your apps are actually being used, or that several teams are paying for the same thing twice.
And the waste from abandoned licenses is real. Imagine paying for 100 seats on a platform, but only 70 get used. Those 30 extra licenses are just money down the drain. Spreadsheets never catch that, especially with auto renewals in play.
Then there's the security side. Without visibility, shadow IT creeps in, apps get downloaded without approval, and suddenly you've got sensitive data in places IT can't monitor. That's a compliance headache waiting to happen.
Manual work makes it all even riskier. When you're provisioning new users or removing access one by one, mistakes happen like former employees keeping access. That's a major vulnerability most people don't think about until something goes wrong.
And with SaaS contracts up for renewal all year round, missing a date can mean service disruption or surprise expenses. So yeah, the pain points just pile up if there's no structured approach. The good news? When you manage SaaS well, you start seeing real wins. First off, you get to prevent shadow IT knowing exactly which tools are sanctioned and which aren't. Lets you stop risky purchases before they happen.
Right? And that visibility opens up smarter license management. If a tool is underused, you can downsize your contract or even ditch it. If licenses are maxed out, you spot that early and negotiate more efficiently, rather than getting hit with surprise fees.
Renewal management is another plus. Instead of scrambling to renegotiate contracts last minute, you've got automated reminders and real-time usage reports. That means you're making decisions based on actual needs, not just reacting to deadlines.
And don't forget, spend analysis. With a unified view, you can see exactly how much each team is spending, flag redundant tools, and even consolidate free apps into paid plans if it makes sense. It's all about making your SaaS investments work for you.
Plus, from a compliance and security standpoint, it's much easier to enforce policies, run audits, and make sure your company's data is protected. There's just no substitute for that kind of control. So, if someone's starting from scratch with SaaS management, where should they even begin? There's a lot to untangle if your stack's already a bit chaotic.
I'd say start with discovery, get a full inventory of every SaaS app in use. That's often an eye-opener. Then, segment those apps, which are approved, which came in through shadow IT, and which are barely being touched.
Once you have that segmentation, dig deeper. Evaluate each app for value, compliance, and security. Don't be afraid to cut loose the underperformers or renegotiate contracts to fit actual usage.
And governance is key. Set clear guidelines for who can purchase or approve new software, and educate your teams on why it matters. If you don't, shadow IT just keeps sneaking back in. Automating procurement and access helps set those boundaries.
It's a cycle: discover, segment, scrutinize, govern. With a solid strategy, you're not just fixing today's mess, but setting up for a much more manageable future. Let's talk tools. Not all SaaS management platforms are created equal. If I'm a business leader shopping for one, what should I be demanding from the platform?
Detailed app discovery is huge. You want a tool that integrates with your single sign-on, expense management systems, maybe even browser extensions. So there's nowhere for rogue apps to hide. Usage tracking at the user level is another must.
Contract and renewal visibility can't be overlooked either. You want all your vendor agreements and renewal dates centralized with early alerts before auto renewals sneak up on you. That feature alone can save thousands.
I'd add automation, things like license harvesting, onboarding divided by offboarding workflows, and even notifications via Slack or Teams. And of course, for bigger organizations, robust security features like SOC 2, compliance and audit trails are non-negotiable.
When those pieces come together, SaaS management stops being a time sink and actually empowers your teams. That's a shift companies can't afford to ignore. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Insights in Minutes.